There's nothing cheap about BLU's new Bold N2 phone, except for the price. Earlier this year, they released the BLU G91 Max, which we determined to be the best budget smartphone on the market at the time, but now it has some internal competition with the N2. We also can't ignore the elephant in the room, the newly released Pixel 6a. For $349 or $249 at launch while supplies last, links in the description if you're curious, it's pretty darn impressive to see what is offered here. Go ahead and take a look at the back of the box for yourself and tell me I'm wrong. The only big feature that's really missing for me is support for wireless charging, something that I'm gonna have to grill Google for excluding in the Pixel 6a when that video comes out, so stay tuned for that. For a phone of this price range, it's not completely surprising to see it missing here, but we have seen it included in less expensive phones like the G91 Max, a phone that's half the cost. So as someone with wireless charging pads everywhere, it's a bummer to see. But wireless charging aside, the N2 hopes to win you over in the other areas, notably the build quality, the display, and its support for 5G on T-Mobile. BLU is probably not gonna like me saying this, but it looks and feels a lot like a Samsung smartphone, which I would consider a compliment. You do have a stainless steel frame that wraps around the phone, and unlike most other phones of today, we have a faux leather back cover that feels and looks like genuine leather. It adds a little bit of grip, but it's mostly there to offer a texture that feels better than the slimy plastic or even glass that we see commonplace nowadays in smartphones. So I think that's a really nice touch, no pun intended. The cypress teal color that it comes with isn't my favorite though, I'm gonna be totally honest. I'd prefer a stealthy black color or even a more vibrant blue. But as with any phone, if you throw it in a case, such as the included plastic case that you get in the box, you're gonna render this texture and color useless. But it's there for those of you who don't like to use protection. Hey. Another reason it looks like a premium Samsung phone is because it features a beautiful and large curved 6.6-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with a 2340 by 1080 resolution and 393 pixel per inch index. It may be the most beautiful display I've ever seen on a BLU smartphone. Colors are super vibrant and saturated, viewing angles are very, very strong, and content appears just crisp and detailed, thanks again to that relatively high pixel per inch index. There's cutouts for the two front-facing selfie cameras, so your screen real estate is maximized. What you don't see here, however, is support for a refresh rate of more than 60 Hz, and since the edges are curved, it may result in some accidental taps of the display when holding it. I know a lot of people really do not like curved displays for this reason, so if that's you, you're gonna probably want to factor that into your buying decision. There's also an in-display fingerprint scanner that doesn't suck. It's not the quickest in the world, and if I'm really nitpicking, it could be moved up a bit further on the display to help reach it easier, but it worked pretty consistently in my testing. And software is also a pleasant surprise in terms of how minimal it is. You do get a custom skin running on top of Android 11, but it's mostly just in the form of reskinned icons. The disappointing area of the software, though, is the fact that it's running Android 11 out of the box, which is a 2-year-old operating system at this point, and BLU is infamous for not supporting their phones with software updates for very long. BLU has confirmed to me, though, that they are planning to release at least one major OS update and security patches for 2 years, so do keep that in mind. With that said, I'm pleased to see performance is actually pretty solid for a phone in this price range. It's being powered by a MediaTek Dimensity 810 octa-core chipset with 8 GB of RAM. I'm able to game and navigate the OS with minimal lag and stuttering. You should find performance in the ballpark of the Samsung Galaxy A13 and Motorola One 5G Ace. There's also 256 GB of internal storage, so you should have plenty of space to load this phone full of apps and photos and videos. So you get a ton of storage space built into this phone, but it's worth noting there is no expandable storage in this device, unlike many of BLU's other smartphones. But arguably the underrated star feature of this chip is its support for 5G, which is pretty much the new norm here in 2022. However, it's worth noting that 5G support on this phone is only supported on T-Mobile at this time. LTE support, though, will work on T-Mobile, AT&T, and all their MVNOs. The cameras are pretty specced out on paper, as they usually are with BLU phones, but in reality, you know, they're not on the same caliber as the Pixels and the Galaxies out there. There is a 64 megapixel main lens, 2 megapixel depth camera, 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, and 2 megapixel macro camera. What I found is the macro lens is really just there to fluff up the specs, and the ultra wide as well to some degree because it's pretty basic, but it's more useful than the macro in my opinion. If you just use the 64 megapixel main lens with auto settings like I did, you're going to be able to capture some okay/usable photos. It can be hit or miss depending on the lighting conditions. Some photos come out appearing ultra saturated, while others could benefit from being a bit more exposed and vibrant. So keep that in mind, your results are going to vary. What I found interesting though is the inclusion of 2 selfie cameras, a 16 megapixel main and 2 megapixel depth sensor. You're gonna love this setup if you love taking portrait mode photos and you don't mind a pretty aggressive bokeh effect. I will say though, the main selfie camera is actually quite good. I can capture my whole face at arm's length away, and it captures a good amount of detail in my face. And thanks to the AMOLED display and power-efficient processor, the 4200 mAh battery is going to be able to last you, I would say, a full day with moderate to heavy usage. It really just depends on what you do with this phone. I mentioned there is no wireless charging, which is a bummer, but there is 30-watt quick charging to get you 50% of power in just about 20 minutes of charging time. So that's definitely not worth glossing over. When you add everything up, the Bold N2 makes a very solid argument for itself for its $249 launch day price. Much more than that, and it becomes a little bit more of a tough sell. But even then, you're gonna have to prioritize the beautiful display and make sure you're a T-Mobile customer to really take advantage of its support for 5G. But this display is very pretty, and having a good display is very important in a smartphone because you're looking at it hundreds of times a day. I still have yet to fully review the Pixel 6a, for example, but it's the elephant in the room because it's only $100 more than the full retail price of the N2, and it's directly from Google, so you're going to get guaranteed software updates for at least 5 years, according to Google. That alone could be worth the extra price. It's going to be up to you, of course. But if you're interested in picking up the BLU Bold N2 from Amazon, I'll place my link in the description down below to check it out. Let me know your thoughts on this device in the comments down below. As always, I'm BoHD from Slash.tv. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you right back here in the next one. See ya.